Hello and welcome to another macro video. Today we're looking again at modern comments, and I think some of you are struggling. Well, I have good news for you today. We can make the composing of comments a lot easier. Let's have a look at the problem first and then we'll show you the solution. So when we're trying to create a comment, then we can't use curly quotes. If you type something, type ordinary quotes, they don't come out in curly. You can't use any character shortcuts that you've got set up for maybe for an n dash and m dash. You can't use auto text, and you can't use macros, which for me and for many people is a real pain. I use macros so much just as I'm typing, for abbreviations, for switching words around and so on. So that's what you can't do, but there is a solution. And what we do is to compose the comment itself in a Word file, and then we apply a macro to put the comment into the text, and the macro we're using is called comment compose, and it does both parts of that scenario. So let's try it. Let's move that out the way and bring in a file to work with. Okay, so we've got some text and we want to make some comments about it. So we run comment compose, and what it does is to create a file. Let's make it a bit smaller and move it down a bit. So what the file is doing is locating the fact that it's working with this file here. It's got the name of the macro, MC sample, and you're ready there to type some text. So this is my text. Oh bother, I've got the spelling wrong, so I can run a spelling macro. I can add color to it. I can make things bold. Let's make it a bit bigger. I can make it bold or whatever. So I can use all my tools, my macro tools and so on, to create the comment in the first place. When I've created it, I run the macro a second time, and it applies it to the area of text that I had selected, and there's the marker to show that there's a comment there now, and there it is. That's the text that has been applied. So that's fairly straightforward. However, there are more macros that we can use. So we have also got one called comment compose menu. Those of you who have been using comments before to create queries for authors, then my macros have provided you with the ability to create a comment from a list of comments. You can select whichever comment you want. You can create your own list, obviously, and then there's a key shortcut to each of the comments. So I've done the equivalent of that with this comment compose, and then when you've created all your comments, you can run comments modern collect, which pulls all the comments out and creates a list of them and puts your initial in front of each one, and those are then ready for the author to add his or her responses. And finally, there's one to delete comments. The point of that is that if you've got a comment there and want to delete it, then you have to, what do you have to do? You have to go, you have to go over to the comment. No, not far enough. You have to go to there. You have to go down to delete thread and delete it. Click on that and it will delete. So, well, why mess about with all that? Why not just have a macro? You click in the comment, or in fact you can click before it, and you run the macro and it deletes it. It's a little easier, especially if you've got several comments. Okay, let's have a play with composing from a menu. So if we select that bit of text there, and we run the macro, then what we get is a list of, that's my text, and each of those is an abbreviation to help me to remember what it is what the comment is that I'm doing. So suppose I don't understand the meaning of it, so that's an M for meaning, so I type M and then return, and it composes the comment here. So what it's done is it's taken the whole of the bit that was selected and copied it into the comment. And when it first appeared, then the cursor was there between those quote marks. So that's there ready for me to say, I don't know what tools means, so I can do that. And again, as with the simple comment compose, I run the macro a second time and it installs it there, and there's my comment with my PB and the page and line number. Those my initials and the page number and line number are an option set in the macro, so you can have any or all or none of those to be applied to each of your comments. So what else are we going to do with it? Suppose we've got a citation there, and we don't know, we think that's maybe not the right date or something, so it's not on the reference list, so list L for list, and then there's my comment, Brown 2004 is not on the references list. However, we might decide that it's not 2004, but it might be 2006, so LL, then so it you notice that it's deleted the old comment that was in there that I wasn't using and has put this one instead. So the cursor is sitting there nicely there, so if I want to say that actually 2006 is, so maybe that's what this citation should have been, Brown 2006. Right, so that gives you an idea of the sorts of things that you can do with those macros. And just finally, to show you how the menu is set up, I'll just shove them down the bottom here, but these are held in a file, not at the bottom of this demonstration file, and I put them in my switch list, which is what I use with multi-switch. So just down at the bottom of the switch, you've got some sort of title at the top here, and all the macro looks for is these double square brackets, so that it knows where the start of the list of comments is. The bit that's in that I've put in bold, but I've only put it in bold just so that it's easy to see. So the G is what the code is. The not in glossary is what appears on the actual list that comes up on screen, and the text to the left is the bit that's actually typed into the comment. And the bit with the angle brackets there that's where the copied and pasted text goes. And we've got two different ones. We've got the angle brackets and we've got the curly brackets, and that's there because you might want to bring the formatting from the document into the comment. On the other hand, you might want to not have that, but to have the formatting that's in the actual comment, because the comments themselves can have formatting. So that bold bit in that comment will be copied into the text of the comment, that format there. And it's difficult to see, but there's a vertical bar there, and that's meant to indicate that once that comment has been typed in, or copied in rather, that is where I want the cursor to be. So, such and such is not in the references list, but such and such is, and the cursor goes next to that. Okay, well, I hope you find that's helpful, and let me know how you get on, and if you've got any other ideas as to how to improve it. Oh, no, I haven't collected the comments, have I? Silly me, let's just do that. Have we got any comments? Well, we've got one, let's put in another one. So I've got another comment there and insert it. So we've got a couple of comments. So the comment copier or comment collector There we are, there's our list of comments. Okay, it's that macro has added PB. We'd already got a PB on there, but you can fiddle around with that as to how you want to work it. Okay, well, that's it. I wish you luck with modern comments. Thanks for watching.